But to be honest, with the lighting stuff, we were planning to have a bit of a, like, just an hour or two every week because it's not a huge topic. So last week we looked at lighting, and lighting's one of those things where you play with it once and it's kind of like, oh, I see how things change, and then you don't touch it for 3 months, and then you're in your game and you're like, oh, all the shadows look dark. How do I deal with this? And then you're like, I can't remember anymore. So we've been trying to look at it in a little more detail this month. So lighting has been our monthly game dev challenge focus. So we looked at it last weekend and we're looking at it today as well. So last weekend we went over things such as directional light, which is like a sun or a large volume of light that will travel in a certain direction, which has no point of origin that you care about. It doesn't matter where you move it. It just has light coming from infinitely far away. So this kind of acts as your sun. That's all, rather than it actually be a sun that you place in the world. The rotation is what you change on it, and in order to make it point in different directions on the Y and the Z. And then the intensity is going to be how kind of bright that is. There's a few other things that we went through, but we had a look at atmospheric fog after that. So this was kind of like the haziness on the horizon that you get. And it adds like a gradient, a kind of color to the sky. And then also this, what you set for this, if I remember correctly, is used by our skylight. So a skylight is something you add into the level which deals with the indirect lighting. So it kind of looks at the sky cube, or like a cube map if you're using one of those, or a sky box. And it will look at the information around that in order to generate indirect lighting. So if you have like a hazy kind of sunsetty color from the atmospheric fog, or perhaps the sky sphere, I can't remember which now, the skylight will kind of reflect that out in a way. So yeah, it acts like a reflection capture, but it captures the atmospheric fog in the sky sphere, and it'll push all that light into objects in the scene. We had a look at the sky sphere then. So in Unreal, the sky sphere is a blueprint that comes by default with the engine. And this basically gives us our textures of clouds. And also, if we change the time of day, it will blend between different, like a blue texture in the sky to a dark, like nighttime texture with stars in it. So it's a blueprint that's set up to transition between different textures and blends in order to look like a sky, basically, with some clouds that can move, and you can set the panning speed on them and stuff as well. You can hook up your directional light actor, which was our sun. You can hook that up, and what's cool about that then is when you change the rotation of this, it actually will move the sun in this sky sphere and change the blends based on that, which is quite cool. It doesn't happen in real time. You've got to press refresh or whatever, but it still does that job. So we kind of looked at that. And then we started looking at, quickly towards the end, we looked at a point light, a spotlight, and a reflection capture. And it'll probably make more sense to look at those in engine that we were playing around with. My god is the directional light. Don't go towards the light brain node. We can't be losing you now. Or is it kind of my god is the sun? Probably. That's more of the reference there. Huh? Spacey. It was very foggy by the river this morning. I have cool pics. They're not cool pics unless you spell the pics with an X. Spacey. Cool pics is what you have. Eva, thank you for the follow. Welcome along. Okay, so the directional light, the spotlight, and the reflection capture we looked at. So this is an example of a beautiful point light. So a point light, I said the wrong lights a second ago, point light or a spotlight. Point light is a light in a three-dimensional point in space. So it will shine a light in equally in all kind of directions. So it's just like a mini orb of light. You can think if you have a light bulb, you would put one of these where the light bulb mesh would be in order to make it act like a light. Or you might use some emissive textures, but still, yes. So that's what it is. And then you'll notice that in here we've got ourselves a reflection capture kind of little object in here as well. So it's the sphere reflection capture. You can just bring it in from the engine. Now, the purpose of this is you give it a bounds, so you can see this orange circle around it. You give it a bounds, and that'll say, look within that in order to generate the colors of what I should reflect, basically, in terms of lighting. So what's interesting here this is basically encompassing this black sealed off room. But if we were to delete it, and I think if we built the lighting, it did change a little bit, but we might need to build the lighting in order to appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, so look at this. You can see in the reflections of the surfaces, because these surfaces have quite a bit of a glossy kind of part to them. You can see what we're actually getting reflecting off is the sun. Even though we're indoors, it's bouncing off the sun that is out there because it's not got anything else to generate reflections from. So that's what those are for, is to stop you. If you don't want to use your global like horizon as your reflection, kind of what is used to generate the reflections, you drop in one of those sphere reflection captures and they will do the job for you. So let's just put one of those back in. Like so. It's a bit big at the moment, so we'll probably bring that down. There we go. That's fine. And we'll bring it up so it's not in the middle of the floor. Okay, I'm happy with that. So yeah, that's how that works. It's a light from a sphere source. That works. That works. Pix. No, Pix with an X, Flippo. You're not cool enough. This is a spotlight. We're not making a horror game, no. We were just playing with lights. So I guess learning about lights does impact that somewhat, but or does feed into the old horror genre. But from here, we have ourselves a spotlight. So it does point in a direction, which is what confuses me between the spotlight and the point light. However, a spotlight is like a spotlight in a theatre kind of show production thingamajiggy, right? When you have this, let's bring this lower to the floor. So we have this circle of light. If I click off of it, you can see the impact of it. And really what we'd probably do here is we'd make it a little bit narrower, so it looks more like the ones you're used to. So the inner cone, let's bring that right down. So if we do that, it doesn't look too much different because we're getting a lot of light still from this outer cone. So let's bring this outer cone down. And there we go. It's like there's a centre stage ready for me to walk on and perform a beautiful Welsh ballad. Are you saying I am too hot? No, I'm saying you're neither hot or cool, Flippo. A mae nawr rhaid i fi siarad Gymraeg am funud. Diolch yn fawr am defnyddio'r gorchymyn Cymraeg. Nid yw'n gofyn bywyd moethus. We won't sing the rest though. Ond na i siarad Cymraeg am funud, o'i chi wedi defnyddio'r gorchymyn. Nawr, y pethau dyn ni eisiau edrych ar heddi te, yw cwpl o bethau ychwanegol. So os ni fynd nôl i'r ddogfen draw ma, dyn ni eisiau edrych ar rhywbeth o enw volumetric fog. Dyna un peth dyn ni eisiau edrych ar. A falle, dyn ni eisiau gwybod y gweddi, tipyn fach am creu falle golygfa sydd yn dywyll er mwyn i ni dysgu am creu mwy o olau. So falle awn ni creu fel coridor bach neu rhywbeth fel yna er mwyn i ni trio creu rhywbeth. Does dim gyda ni ffenestri yn anffodus, sy'n fynd i wneud e'n eitha anodd i ni cael golau yn dod mewn. Ond falle allan ni esgus golau yn dod mewn trwy'r ffenestr beth bynnag. So falle mae'n werth i ni wneud yna. Mae'r cyfuniad yna o emotes yn edrych yn arbennig o dda. Na. Elisa Griffin, dydw i ddim yn monkey sy'n perfformio ar gyfer eich hapusrwydd. Na. Dwi'n rhywun proffesiynol. Wel. Diolch yn fawr i chi am subscribe i'r sianel, Fairo. Fi'n falch iawn. There's no sub for singing either. Hello everyone, I'm back to English. Thank you for using the Welsh command. First off, thank you, Alicia, for the 100 bits. I read that as danger then. I was like, Alicia Griffin, thank you for the bits. Fyro, Dark Matter, thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. I very much appreciate it. A mae nawr rhaid i ni siarad Gymraeg am munud ychwanegol. So, okay, awn ni creu rhyw fath o golygfa ble allan ni cael mwy o kind of llawr ac bethau i edrych ar. So, awn ni cymryd un o'r rein, rhoi y dryma, awn ni cael sgeilo hyn i fyny eitha fawr os yw'n bosib. So, awn ni fynd ar X a Y a ni 10 a 10 i wneud e'n fwy. Wel, mae hwn yn eitha fawr, so falle llai na hynna. A ni jyst fynd falle 6x6 te. Mae hwn yn digon dda i fi. OK, ymlaen ar texture dyn ni eisiau defnyddio yma. Falle mae'n jyst rhywbeth sydd ddim yn rhy... mae hwn yn eitha shiny dda yn y fforest, dyn ni. Ddim cweit eisiau... Yw'n... hwn yn brydferth. Iawn, awn ni defnyddio hyn, a awn ni jyst creu tipyn fach o olygfa cyflym. Oes, does dim gyda ni amser really i roi pethau dda mewn. Dwi ddim yn canu am pwyntiau. There's never been I will sing for points. The only singing that happened was during the charity stream last Christmas, where people could request, if they donated 5 or more, I would sing Calon Lan. Or the verse of it, at least. Fyro, I appreciate the subscription, but it's not a it's nothing to see as a negative if you were not, good sir. Right, this is my rotated wall, isn't it? We're just going to find... I just want to make a... So what I was saying in Welsh, sorry, is I'd like to make a little bit of a scene. What's this going to look like? Oh, it's not quite. Keep clicking on the wrong one as well. Yeah, I was just hoping to make it a very quick scene so we could try and play around with some volumetric lighting and stuff in there. All of these textures are... It's because we haven't stretched them as much, I guess, right? Alright, well, I think for now we're just going to have to choose something. It doesn't really matter. Concrete grime, that sounds beautiful. Alright, concrete grime is what we're using as a wall. And it's going to stretch out. This isn't going to look pretty. It's not about looking pretty. But instead, it's just going to give us a chance to try and make a little bit of an area where we can try and see the effect of things with a few little kind of distractions for us. It might look terrible if I stretch it across like that, but hey, it's fine. We'll just go with it. Play grime music with this. You say grime, I think it's Stormzy. Far too big for your boots. That's pretty much all I got. That's as grime as I get. Sorry if Stormzy isn't grime. I'm far too old and uninterested to know what what genres that I don't listen to are. Who here knows Stormzy? Wing, is Stormzy, is that grime? Help an old man. Skepta. Tis. Okay, a few of us know the old Storm Dog. That's what his friends call him. Me and Storm Dog go back away. I'm not 100% sure what grime is. Okay, I feel better now. So, Elisha, if you want me to sing, you're welcome to donate when I do my charity stream. That would be a good way to get what you want, wouldn't it? And you're helping out whatever charity I decide to give money to. I need to book some time off work to do that this year. I was wondering whether I should combine, due to time getting a bit short, whether I should try and combine the charity stream with the game jam. And then I can just stream the game jam throughout. But then it's like, it can't be a serious game jam because people will just keep intentionally distracting me. All right. We got a bit of a kind of wall set up here. Well done, Dan. Let's save before this breaks somehow. And then we can create a dark area maybe as well. But let's just whack one of these over here. Let's make it a little bit shorter. Game Jam, you have to take suggestions for donations. Oh, crikey. But how would that work for everyone else doing the Game Jam? So I have to add something in. No, because then people will add obnoxious stuff in there, won't they? There's always someone who spoils the fun. Okay, will that give us a bit of a... Yeah, an environment where we can get some light, maybe. With this top back wall can maybe go a bit higher as well. So let's just put this on 4. And then we can back this up. And probably end that. Oh, no, it doesn't. Okay. There she goes. Oh, it doesn't fit. I don't care anymore. That's fine. Everything is fine. Okay, so this month's monthly game dev challenge, level design, placing walls. Look, I just wanted something that wasn't this tiny little area, so we can play with a few different materials and see. Because volumetric fog is something that impacts things with distance as well, right? So, right. What else have I missed from this? To add stuff to your game, like disco balls. I don't understand the disco ball. This is a Marco Polo thing, was it? Flamethrowers. Uno would give his life savings. Wheelbarrows and meteors. Can you imagine how this game would look? Yeah, a burn effect. Yes, well done. You're going to play into Spacey's feelings there. Okay, so volumetric fog, Brainoid. My good sir. How does this work? You've used a little bit of it before, right? So we have volumetric, light map, density, volume. We have exponential height fog, which might be it. Yeah, Brainoid, it's just written exponential height fog. Thank you, Brainoid. That is very helpful. So look at that's the initial distance difference we have. Now it does make it look a lot less vibrant, right? But it does make it a lot more atmospheric as well, I guess you could say. But we need to kind of see what we get with this. So what options do we have on the exponential height fog? Let me first put it down so we remember it. I'm trying to make notes so every time we come back to this. Is it exponential? I forgot what it was called. Yeah. Hello.
I was waiting for you to finish your wall work.
Yeah, that is fine. I understood that you don't enjoy my monthly wall challenge.
Yeah, and when you said I'm gonna design a quick environment, I thought like rocks and stuff. But you only placed walls.
Well, I don't really have rocks to use, do we? That's the tricky thing.
Well, really difficult to find one, right?
I actually don't know. I don't know where to get 3D assets. So,
Spacey made you one.
Oh yeah, but what, my AHA ones?
No, Bunner's ones.
Oh, I don't have those. I reformatted my computer. I never had to use those as well. You see, you did all the level setup. So you are right. We could use some of them, and I think we should. But I don't know whether I've got any assets on my computer right now. Let me have a look.
Okay. It's okay. I can send them over.
But I have like the Vault, the Unreal Vault thing. But I think when I reformatted, I just thought I'd re-download stuff if I need it. Because I had like that whole kind of cactus set, I remember, which looked really cute, nice before.
Yeah, of course.
I've got my hard drive here, so I can have a look as well. Anything there quickly, because it would help to see the kind of the reason why you might want to use some of this stuff. Because looking at just flat planes isn't always the kind of benefits or the visual kind of niceties you get from using such a thing. Nice Turkish songs that you sing, Brainoid.
Of course.
So when you're growing up, is there like Turkish songs that everyone learns in school, or That's kind of like, yeah. Okay, so similar to how like some of the Welsh songs that we know. Like there's hundreds of Welsh songs, but you learn a certain subset that kind of get put through mainstream education.
We also have this national figure Atatürk, who saved Turkey in the war,
right?
And lots of songs about him.
Oh, I see. Can't drive.
I already sent you some messages, by the way.
Yeah, I'm just a little might upload showing up. Hard drive I've got. Kate Dans, the only song they ever taught us in school in Turkey was the national anthem. Would you like to perform that? Yeah, see, Kate Dan has Turkish roots as well. Bora, but he doesn't live in Turkey anymore. He's an international globetrotter, is Kate Dan.
Yeah, and you should hear our national anthem. It's impossible to sing. Like it takes 5 years for 5 years to learn. It's really silly and no prosody at all. The sentences overflow to the next rhythm all the time.
I know that Braino can sing, but whether he will is a different question. Right, I'm just. Where did I put all my bloody my game dev stuff?
Well, I can sing, but for a lot of points, though.
That's the spirit.
Maybe if we ever put the game on Kickstarter, maybe I can make a tier of it.
Oh, do you know what?
I sing Turkish anthem for $100 tier.
I've even made some models at some point, haven't I?
Yeah, of course.
Give me a sec. I don't know. I forget that I've made some crappy stuff over the time. Where do I want now? We'll probably just make a quick folder in here. So models for now. We've got a T-pose in. Just import all. There we go. We haven't got the textures for it, but we have our little person that we made from before. It looks like a creepy doll right now. But I'll have something a bit better than that in a sec. Hold on. So, do we have our elephant? Okay, we have a beautiful lion head. Who remembers this? From that was during the Christmas charity stream as well, wasn't it? That I made this low poly lion head for Viet Lol.
Do you have your? Okay, did you add the elephant in?
The elephant's on its way. Don't you worry. Okay. It's just you can see my folder of models is a bit hard to know which one is the one that I want. I don't know if I can add them in as just blend files. They'll have to be elephant almost finished FBX.
Almost finished is good enough.
Almost finished. Get in there. Oh, it comes in different parts. Crikey.
That's also better. Destructible elephant.
Has it added loads of different bits on top of each other? Yes. Okay, I think it's because I know why it is. We had different layers enabled at the time.
I know, yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to probably go for this body and this head. There you go. Almost perfect. Get on there. Beautiful.
This is good enough setup. Nice environment.
We've got a bit of shadow from the elephant going as well, haven't we? I would definitely.
You can even use the elephant body as a rock.
Oh, as in like mini ones in the floor.
Yeah.
That's what you mean. I think there's one thing. I'll just very quickly. I know we're short on time, but I'm enjoying a little, so allow me.
Yeah, it's fine. It is fun to watch.
I made loads before, but I can't remember where I
Yeah,
backed
you
them up.
had some toilets and stuff.
Yeah. Now you know what I'm on about.
For the global game jam, right?
Yeah, I went and I was a modeler. Disappointed in your file naming. Look, these are not for Richard O'Brien. I did that during the game jam as well. I forgot about. What's please work? Is this an elephant? Oh no, it was just a green tile for the dungeon in AHA. Do you remember we were trying to get the anchor point to be in the right place on it? Oh, that was a horrible, horrible time that was. Okay, just give me a tiny little moment and I will we'll hopefully move on. It could be in a horrible folder called unsorted. You never try to open a file called please work. Look, I think there's nothing wrong with that. Oh, was there 2,000 point spendage? Did I miss that? Dwi'n ymddiheuro. Ymddiheuro. Mae yna gorchymyn i ddefnyddio'r trydydd gorchymyn Gymraeg wedi cael ei ddefnyddio, so byddaf yn parchu hynny. Mae hon yn hollol iawn. Ond yn y cyfamser, fi'n trio datrys ble mae'r ffolder dwi eisiau ffeindio. Mae'n probably fynd i fod mewn yma. Na. Paid poeni. Paid poeni. Fi'n meddwl ni wedi redeg mas o amser i chwilio am y pethau dwi eisiau datrys. Yn anffodus. OK, mae hon yn ffain. Awn ni just rhoi mwy o'r cyrff eliffantod mewn yma. A rhoi nhw yn y ground fel yna. Troi nhw o gwmpas. A wedyn rhoi lliw arnyn nhw. Da ni rhyw fath o stone allan ni just whaco man. Dyna ni. Elephant rock. Perffaith. Mae hwn yn edrych yn arbennig o dda. So mae nawr gyda ni wahanol creigiau fel hyn. Perffaith. Arbennig o dda. Mae hwn yn edrych yn go iawn nawr. Dyna ni. Mae da ni cwpl o greigiau o gwmpas yma. Allwn ni roi nhw dramafyd hefyd. Dyna nhw. Perffaith! There we go. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't matter if Brainoid said he'll sing for points. It's not his stream. This is my stream!
And I said lots of them.
Oh, look how nice. Look how majestic. Anyway, sorry, we're totally not doing anything with light. So we've put in some fog, right? That is one thing that we are going to be trying to play around with the parameters of it now to see what it does.
Let's go. Fog density.
Okay, so we click on the exponential it's called exponential height fog. So we're going to have a look at the fog density, which, as you'd imagine, 0 would take it back to how it was. Now the density, I'm wondering, is it like linear? Is it, sorry, not linear. Is it the same wherever you are, or is it to do? It's not to do with distance, is it? I think it's the same wherever you are, right? Okay, so we can.
What do you mean same wherever you?
As in, is the fog the same amount of? Is the fog being affected near and far, if you will?
Okay, all right. Well,
I think that's what the fall off is, right?
Before everything, we can also check the volumetric fog checkbox in the list and also see
this thing.
like that.
Oh, okay. That's the tick box that make things look a lot nicer normally. Is it? I can stream this for you now, Brain. Sorry, yeah. Give me just a moment.
Googling.
There you go. So this looks super foggy at the moment, right? We will change it so it looks a little bit nicer for us.
So making it volumetric helps you if you are under a tree or something. The fog clears.
Oh, right. Is that how the
Right.
volumetric fog works, is it? Let me get that back
Yeah,
open.
but I think you need to. I'm not sure, but I think you need to add some light probes or something, maybe.
So what are the light probes, did you say?
No,
Or
they're
just
not
prop?
light probes. I don't know what they're named here. I was just watching this video. They had it. They had something like that.
Okay.
But still, you should try, of course. Maybe play and move around.
Let's see if we... Oh, crikey. I'm...
Is it foggy inside the room there?
yeah, that's a good question.
It is, I guess.
Um,
Oh, it's not.
no, it doesn't feel foggy in here.
Okay, it works then. Yeah, it
So is
does
that the
work.
volume? Oh, hang on. So when I go in, it completely feels like it's no longer there. Let's try and turn it. I don't like how the color completely changes though. Like here it looks warm, but then it's cold when we play. Let me try and turn off that
Well,
volumetric.
there's another light inside.
I guess. Yeah, okay, you're completely correct. Look at that.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to make notes because the point of this is to learn, right? So first off, fog density is pretty straightforward, right? Fog density does what it says on the tin. Okay. In the UK, we used to have an advert, Ron Seal, which is like a paint or like a weatherproofing paint you put on your fences. And their slogan was, Ron Seal, it does what it says on the tin. It was some tough guy. That was all they needed to tell you. It does. Frog density. Unfortunately, the frogs have been killed by the birds. Did you not play Bunners? Okay, so the fog density does what it says on the tin. And then we have the volumetric fog. Volumetric fog. So this takes into account like objects, I guess. Making fog making it such that fog will not appear underneath items. Oops. Objects like trees. Or within an enclosed, a mostly enclosed room. I'm not sure of how it works specifically, but okay, let's go back. So yeah, how come when I'm in editor we get in this warm tint, and when we press play, let's change it to play from where I am. I guess it's not that different. It's just the reflections seem a little warmer. I'm not too sure, but okay. Yeah, I'm not too sure why it is. But especially, oh, this is really noticeable. Yeah, can you see?
Maybe something is disabled in the scene view.
We maybe need to rebuild lighting as well.
Yeah, that's correct.
Fyro, you pointed it out. Frog density does what it says on the wall. Poor froggos. We're not gonna. Don't worry. All the frogs have died. Oh, Brian, you did send me some files as well. I'm sorry for.
No, that's all right, man. Just ignore them.
Okay. Okay, so we're building, and we'll see if the preview changes, and then we'll see what it looks like when we press play as well. Am I expecting the preview to stay kind of the same? Totally one of these where I feel like I can't take my eyes off the screen. No, okay. Oh, overlapping UVs. This is where my terrible modeling comes into play. Okay, so it's still this color. I wonder why when you change the why it looked different, but it's okay. We'll go with it anyway. But that was just ticking that on and off. It still has an effect actually. So okay, so fog density. I'm going to turn this down a bit because it's a bit strong at the moment. We could even go probably a bit shallower than that. Okay, so we have a little bit. The next thing we have is the hog height fall off. Maybe we need it a little bit tall, higher, so we can see what this does. Okay, so let's just scale this back and down and see. So this means higher in the air, it'll be clearer. So this just keeps it closer to the floor.
Yeah.
Okay, that's quite cool because that can give you that kind of early morning kind of dewy sort of fog look, I guess. And you still get the nice color of the skybox without everything looking like Silent Hill. Whereas if you don't want to worry about your sky so much, I guess that can be off. So hog, fight, fall. I keep saying fight, fall off. Or a hog. Higher the number, the clearer the sky will be. I know. So I mean, the fog falls off.
It's basically a vertical gradient, right?
Yeah.
And you scale it down.
Would you pay to see a hog fight haul off? Sounds like some high octane entertainment right there. Okay, so we've got that, and then we've got second fog data. So you can have two fogs.
Yeah, 2 layers, I guess.
Do they ever like move? I'm trying to think like what benefits you get from layering them up.
I might be wrong, but
the offset
was closer to the ground or something.
Well, this is what I'm thinking here is we have an offset, right? So if I put this one on, I don't see anything when changing this. Oh, the flip is going on. Bear with me.
Super high numbers.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't know what's going on, if I'm honest with you, with this. Relative to the active position in the Z. Maybe. So the max you can have the fog density there is 0.5. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure.
Does it have an explanation on tooltip for second fog data?
Setting the density of this to 0 means it doesn't have any influence.
It's just a second fog.
All right, well, we'll ignore it for now because I don't think we know why we would want that. Maybe one time we'll think. If you could color them different, or maybe there was a bit more of a... like you could see the difference between them because it seems like they stack, you know? But, yeah. Okay, so fog in scattering color. So this could be interesting because it does look all a bit pale at the moment. Will it go warmer if I... Okay. I can see the bits that... So that's more of the distant kind of... Oh no, you can see the greenness of that fog there as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so generally you'd want quite a cool color for fog, I'd imagine, right? Because it doesn't really make sense to be anything else unless you're trying to get like a magical feel. So it kind of be either like a warm yellowy one, potentially, in like a dusty kind of environment, or I'd imagine a whitey blue sort of color you'd go for otherwise. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it roughly where it was. What else do we have in here then? Fog's max opacity. Oh, hang on. No. You see that it's like changing from the sky down, but we had this with some of the other settings. It was really hard to really know what it's doing.
Play with the fall off first, then maybe.
The cutoff distance, you mean?
No, the main fall off. Fall off.
I'm trying to go as slow as I can in this, and it just kind of just jumps up, it feels.
Yeah.
It's like there's like two different phases.
It is the...
Oh no, you can see if I move really tiny, basically gets a little bit thicker.
Is it because the density is too high or something?
I guess you can see it in the sky get thicker actually with that. So opacity is like how much you can see it, right? So the fog can become fully opaque at a distance and replace the scene color. 0 means the fog will not be factored in at all. But that's the whole scene. But I guess that's a way to turn it off, but it mostly is changing the sky color, right?
Because it's exponential, it gets
more dense.
More effective, yeah.
That makes sense.
Lower colors.
Okay. Max fog opacity. Let's just make a little note on that. Impacts the visibility, I guess, / density. No visibility / I guess opacity of the fog at distance.
Yeah, it does look like it increases the errors too. But what are those? UDP socket thing.
Oh, it just keeps going, doesn't it?
Is it trying to
Socket builder? No, I think it's trying to. Is it trying to do? No, it's not. What's it doing? Like a network thing?
Yeah.
What the flip? This is just an empty project. What? Unreal, please.
Maybe it's because Unreal is so hard coded to use network. Like everything has replication and stuff. Maybe something failed.
I'm so confused by that. Let's just click off of it and not think about it. That works. No errors if they don't exist, if we don't look at them, right? Okay, so the next options that we've got there. Well, the start distance, I'm not seeing much with it at the moment. The fog cutoff distance.
Yeah, that shows.
I'm trying to see. Cuts in at one point. Oh.
Also, it might be. We also set our atmospheric fog distance to something, maybe.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Atmospheric fog. So I think what's happening here is like the fog is not visible further than this. And so these points are closer to us than the ones on the side. Actually, no, they shouldn't be. It should be the same all over. Yeah, I don't know. It looks funky what's going on, but yeah, that's fine. I think it just it cuts off at a certain point, but I don't think we know anything about this. I guess what is worth looking at the scene fog thing, atmospheric fog we've got. We just turn it off like that. I don't know if that works.
Start distance 15K.
Is that here? Is there? Can we just do the density multiplier off to get it? Is that looking how it's meant to then? Atmospheric transmission over background. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to know exactly what is influenced by what when we've got these things set up like that, I guess, right? But okay. Let's carry on going through what else we've got available in here.
Here or exponential?
Maybe the exponential. There we go. Okay. So we've tried these. We didn't really get much going from it. Distance from the camera that the fog will start in world unit 0. So that's immediate. So really, if it was high, I shouldn't get any fog here. But it seems to be not doing anything here. But it could be due to the density or something. I'm not too sure.
Fall off?
What, the fall off up here? The higher the fall off, the more it falls off, right? So the lower should mean it's actually there.
It feels more like a vertical control. I'm not sure.
Okay, well, in scattering texture, so is this a way for how the light, or what to take the light from, is it? To color the fog, I guess, if it's a cube map?
Yes, yeah.
Make distant, heavily fogged scene elements match the sky. Okay, so now we have directional in scattering exponential and directional in scattering color. Well, it's like a gold color. I don't know if we're going to see any difference when we change this. I I don't think we are we?
I think we should move on to volumetric fog bed.
Yeah. Is the volumetric fog the... Hang on. Isn't this the volumetric fog though? Oh, you mean to go onto this bit, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair. Put this back to roughly what it was. I mean, exactly what it was. There we go. Okay, so we had our volumetric fog button. So this will, as we said earlier about the areas, right?
This doesn't support start distance. That's why.
Oh. So because we had that on, some of these might have been influenced. Okay, yeah, it is changing the further we go now. Okay, that makes more sense. And that's good to know, actually, because sometimes you will just want your fog on the horizon. Or not on the horizon, but out of the scene. So, okay, that's cool. Let's just chuck that at 2,100. That'll do for now. Yeah, that's still there. Okay, we'll go back into this then. So, the scattering distribution controls the scattering phase function. How much incoming light scatters in various directions? 0, equally in all directions. 9 is predominantly in the light direction. Something weird there, haven't we? So is that because the sun's up there? That we've got like all of the light is bouncing towards that way? Oh, I've done -9. Does that mean the fog is up that way? I'd imagine. Let's try and move it. Yeah. Okay, it said towards 0 is going to be like it just bounces in every direction evenly. Okay, I can't imagine I understand enough how to change that. So this is just the color of the fog then, I guess, right? So that's, yeah, this gives the overall haze of it.
I think the key here is the extinction.
Okay, well, I'll have a look at that now. We have an emissive quality. That's interesting. Extinction scale. So scales the height fog particle extinction around amount used by the volumetric fog. Values larger than 1 cause fog particles everywhere absorb more light. It wasn't me who misread that. That was how it was said. Okay, let's try this then. Okay, so this is almost like your fog density, right?
Yes.
Okay, so extinction scale to your fog density for volumetric. We also found that was it the fall off? The start distance. Yeah, we should mention this. Start distance only works if not using volumetric fog. Tick box. Put that. I don't think it was extinction. Oh, did I put extinction? Is it? It is extinction. Strange word for it, but okay, so let's whack that on 4. View distance. I guess the view distance is the equivalent of it, of that start distance, right?
Yes.
But it works the opposite way. The higher it is, you see more of it, I guess. Distance in which volumetric should be computed. Large values extend this effect into distance, but also also expose undersampling artifacts in details. Okay, well, we'll just leave that at 1500. That's fine. It's okay, dude. Thank you for paying attention anyway, Fire. Static lighting scattering intensity. So is this going to be based on the, I guess the color of this more? Oh, I'm in the wrong one actually. It's this one. He'll be doing here. If we made it like a blue light for now.
Yeah, and if it's saying static lighting, probably you need to build. I don't know.
Well, you can see, for me, it seems to be how much of the color is on that fog. You can see, well, you can see a difference. I don't know if that's just the fog levels, but
yeah, you can
Yeah, you can see the difference there. I think that's cool. I'll do a build lighting anyway when we look at the next things. Okay, actually, that might be all the settings you have on it, right?
And there are some additional stuff in volumetric. What are they? It dropped down.
Oh, in here, you mean? Override light colors with fog intensity. No. So override light colors with fog in scattering colors. So I guess that's if there's light coming in with light of different directions. It's gonna just purely take this color instead, maybe.
Yeah. So there might be some controls in directional light and other stuff that goes along with volumetric fog. Only works with them.
Okay, we'll go and have a nose now.
It's taking some time now to build the light.
Yeah, it's because of all the, I think,
the elephant
crappy
rocks.
UVs as well. Elephant rocks. Okay, so you say it could be in our directional light. We might have stuff, right?
Yeah, for example, God rays, light shafts.
Yeah. Okay, so at the moment our light's coming from here, right? We should be able to see the brightness of it quite clearly through changing that value. Just put it on 3 for now. Okay.
It says volumetric scattering intensity. Yeah, I can see it.
So that's directly in fact impacting the fog, is it? Intensity, volumetric scattering from this light. This scales intensity and the light color as well. Let's reset that. Hey, alphabet as well. I mean, it does, but I don't know if it's additive. Like, if I didn't have the fog that we just added, would it still?
I think
change
so.
that?
The directional light has its own effect on objects, and maybe it's just another layer.
Yeah, let's try to delete that a sec. Directional light and just play with that value again. I guess no, it doesn't do anything on its own.
Yes.
So yeah, it just impacts it. There we go. I was worried that undo wouldn't work. You know how it works.
I was there with you.
I copied and pasted it before just in case. Okay, let's go back to the directional light. Yeah, what was the God rays thing we talked about before?
Let's have a look at light shafts then. Scroll down. Wrong place to search.
I always do that. Light shafts. Okay, why is it disabled? Is it? I think it's because I searched for a component, so I stopped clicking onto that. Stupid. Anyway, light shafts. We tick it?
Yes, let's go. Nothing happened. So the difference between light shaft occlusion and light shaft bloom was a little difficult to understand for me.
Okay, so I can see there's a bit of mask darkness. The higher it is, it kind of fills in
Can
that.
you try light shaft bloom instead?
Ooh. Okay, so that makes it like hazy from the direction of it, right?
Yeah. And try
the end of the world. Yeah, it kind of goes up pretty quick, this. We have the bloom threshold, max. Okay, you can take that down, which might help.
Guess we need to watch a video to achieve this or follow.
Yeah, there's probably impacts certain settings, or you need certain lights and that to get benefits out of it, I guess.
And turn off occlusion one.
Occlusion. Turn it off, did you say? Or
Turn it off.
For me, I think the occlusion is probably the ambient occlusion, is it? Like the dark, like these bits.
No, it actually affects the light shafts. It's.
Oh right. Yeah. Okay. Well, it seems to also impact the shadowed areas, but I'm sure it's more to it than that.
So last week I sent you a video. They cover it in that video.
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah, maybe sometime we can watch that.
Yeah, that would probably be a good idea. It's all right. I'm in a positive mood at least today, so I don't mind playing around and not figuring it out. It's not the end of the world. We don't have that pressure of like a game jam on us, which is nice. Right, bloom tint. You can also change the color of the. I'm guessing that would be so. If let's make it bright green because it's often quite easy to see bright green. So if we pump this up now, is that going to make it go that color? Now, it kind of does. You see it less around there, but you see it more. It's on the edge of the. Actually, no, I don't think it's the edge. I think it's when you're facing the light, actually.
Can we try something? Can we add a light here, a point light or a spotlight?
Yeah. That's the other thing I was thinking is the. Do you have put manual lights, and it's the way that it deals with those?
Right. Well, it should do something with the directional light as well.
Yeah. Okay, so let's play around with this light. Let's go back up. Make it a bit longer. Oh, maybe the source length isn't what I'm meant to do there. Let's do quite a narrow one. Like that.
So that light should also have a light shaft option in it.
Okay, I'm just trying to check it somewhere where we can maybe see it.
The way I understand it.
There we go. So I got it shining on this top of the wall there. We're definitely getting that bloom now. I don't think we got that as much before. See that? Because this is to do with the directional light. This color. Yeah.
Yes.
So we're definitely getting. That's the whole like bloom kind of effect we're getting on that, I guess, right? You turn that off, and it turns. So at least we know what that does. I'm going to write that down quickly. Light shaft bloom, and it gives you bloom when looking at the sun.
It's just I'm gonna send you the same video again, but only 5 seconds of it we can watch.
5. Yeah. Okay.
Just to show you what I'm expecting, and what you're getting is a little different.
Yeah.
I can send it in chat, I guess.
And it was called our light shaft bloom. But maybe it's just that. Maybe it's only working that way because the light. We don't have light shafts, and it's just treating it as the sun, and that's why it's hazing like that. So let me have a look at what you said. Hello there, Fido. How you doing?
You are great.
Oh, I'm getting a little something here. Yes, Brain.
Yes, we do get it.
So maybe the problem is we were looking somewhere where we're not really going to see the occluded light. So this isn't because of the spotlight, is it? This is. Can
you hide somewhere?
Do you want me to hide somewhere? Did you say?
Yeah. And just peek to look at the sun or something. Yeah. Okay. No. Wow.
The biggest place I'm noticing it is like over here. There, you see it like drifting across here.
Yes, I can see that as well.
I do actually need to take off though. Oh, okay, no problem. Have a lovely day, Fido. Farewell. Hi. Bye. I appreciate that you said you popped in to say hi and call me great. That's a nice thing to do.
We love you too.
We'll go ahead and enable occlusion and light shaft bloom at the same time. You'll notice that occlusion didn't really make that much of a difference.
Slightly different,
while
right?
light shaft bloom made a greater difference. Now we can go through the settings here and reduce the brightness, but another option is to select our
What light is it?
for our
Sun.
sky dome and adjust that image.
Yes.
So I'm going to select the sky dome, and then we'll go to the material that's applied to it. So in this case, we have an HDR image, and we can control the brightness as well as the contrast of the image. So I'm
There
going to control
could
the
be
brightness
some
here.
more
Go ahead and
options
bring
in
that
the
down, and you can see
exponential
how
high
it
quote as
affects
well.
Yeah, can you see a lot of it's coming from the
brightness of our
brightness of the
God rays.
actual map?
Likewise, I can adjust the contrast to help eliminate that really bright ray. But let's go ahead and set these back to their
Bumps up the
default
bloom or
properties for
So
now.
it doesn't seem
And
to
we'll
be
go back to our sunlight.
coming from the sun
And we'll scroll
itself.
back down to the light shaft section.
It's coming from the...
So using bloom scale, we can control the intensity of the bloom effect on our God rays.
The bloom effect?
Holy
Again,
cow.
that's brightening the screen to create the God rays. All right, so let's go ahead and turn that off.
So
And now
it could
let's
be
look-
that we're not using a map with any kind of light information, and it uses that as a way to do like directional sun. I don't know, or like all we've got is this disc.
That disk is not enough. So did you check the spotlight if it has light shafts in it?
No. Let me have a look now. Spotlight. Am I in it? Yes. Light function, light profiles. No, don't think it does. I can check at the point light if you're interested. Factor. No, sorry.
Well, it does have volumetric scattering intensity though. Maybe. No, cast volumetric shadow. Okay.
To show what that is going to do.
It's also too bright here. I don't
Yeah.
know if it should show.
What? How's it still that bright when I put it on? Oh no, I did the scattering like an idiot. Sorry, I meant to look at the...
Not like an idiot.
A little like an idiot.
Okay, so... Still, the skylight is too powerful, I guess.
Yeah. Or the, what do you call it? The...
Environment.
Environmental light from that skylight. Where's our skylight gone here? Where's our intensity, indirect light intensity?
Build. It also has an intensity scale.
Yeah, in the world options, when there's world settings, there was something as well.
I mean, in the skylight, you had a intensity scale is 2.
Let me find where you're referring to. Sorry. Ah, there. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, we're not really seeing. We can build the light in for this, but yeah,
Is it blue right now? That spotlight.
The light.
The spotlight. Does it have a color?
I think it's white.
Okay. To make it more obvious, maybe we can try another color.
Yeah, let's go for kind of greeny color. Let's make this as bright as it can go at the moment as well. Effects world.
Volumetric scattering intensity.
Really hard to see, especially with the...
Oh, can you change it to movable?
The light?
The spotlight.
Do you think the wall, is that what you want it to be movable then? Sorry.
No, the light, of course.
Oh.
No.
No, I think it is happening.
Yeah, it is.
It is happening there. we get to a point where we can see it, and we can see what changed that then, whether we can see what impacts this now. I think that the problem we've got is it's a very bright scene, isn't it? And we've got lots of different things going on.
You can place it in the dark room.
Oh, and see whether or not we get that. Let's borrow you, shall we? Silly me doing Control D for duplicate. Obviously, it's Control W.
You can also just bring a wall down, maybe light scatters in.
Well, yeah, if we could just shine it around here. Perhaps. See how that...
Yeah, I can see the scattering. When you are outside, I saw some rays.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
That looks nice, doesn't it? Okay, so that's what is causing that then. Let's take a step back to think about what we've been changing, because we've been playing with so much trying to get something visual. I'm losing track of what is actually impacting things. So let me just move this down a little so it's all covered by the black background. And then we can see the light coming from it. So is that a thing by default, or is that because we got volumetric fog, or is that because of setting on the light? Let's try and play. I hate these visualizers, because I can't see what changes.
Yeah, we increased the volumetric scattering intensity.
Okay, and it being movable wasn't the thing as well. I just wanted to say, sorry. Okay, so volume, this thing, right? Yeah. Okay, let's put that to the lowest. Okay, that's a big impact on it, right?
Yes.
Volumetric.
Can you go for like 10 or something beyond 4?
We'll have a look now. Type it in. Yeah, that's even stronger.
Nice.
Okay, let me just make a note of that.
So
can we get rid of the fog, and will it still have any impact? I don't think it will, right?
Yeah, it won't. We already tried that.
And I got rid of it, did I? I can't remember. Sorry, dude. I'm losing the plot a little bit. Yeah. The more foggy it is.
I was going to say, what if we increase the directional lights scattering, volumetric scattering to 10 or something, like beyond 4.
Give me a sec.
And you can take your notes, of course. I'm just asking my questions.
Yeah. So I'm just noticing the artifacts you get here. It could just because it's not built, but can you see the rigidity of it there?
Yes.
Just seem to be... Yeah, some of them do talk about artifacts based on different settings and that. But this is cool. This looks really nice. I know it's not doing anything in particular at the moment, but it's just... This is the kind of effects we're hoping to try to start to learn a bit more about today, and we're getting a tiny bit closer, at least, through doing so. So, okay. First off, remember what you asked me to look at. I'm not going to look at it right now. I just need to do this. So we were playing. If you have, okay. So let me just do a little topic on maybe using the God Ray things or light shafts, whatever words you want to use for it, I guess. Light shafts. I'll have to tidy these notes up in a bit. They get a bit messier. Okay, so for this to work, we first need to be using the exponential light fog. Per light, we can increase the volumetric scattering intensity. Okay.
Okay.
Is there anything else we've played with here? I wonder where it's getting the blue color from there. If that's just a mix of the colors. Is it based on this, or is it based on the environmental color that we've got? If I change it to a yellow. No, it is based on this color. It's just must be how the green looks. Uh-oh. I worry that we might have that Unreal color selecting bug in. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. We'll keep it as green. We've had some success with green so far. Okay, so what were you saying then, Brain?
Go to directional light and bump up the volumetric indirect volumetric scattering.
Okay, let's give that a go now. So the direct light. Oh.
Drop down lights. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
And the volumetric scattering intensity.
Yeah, so let's get it beyond 4.
It's not doesn't seem to change it anymore. It did to begin with, didn't it?
The lux is the intensity is low. That's why.
But what are we expecting this to be changing?
So we increase the volumetric scattering of the point light and we started to see the rays. But to 10 we changed. Well, maybe we can try to take it beyond 4 as well. I mean the directional light.
Yeah, I changed that to a smaller one and see if there's an impact. Because basically it didn't seem to be changing anything that bigger. I don't know if it's because this is taking precedence over it or... Okay, I can see it's around it rather than on this, right? Because we're talking about the light that we're getting from this, right? So we shouldn't actually be seeing anything on this, should we?
Probably we should, like when we're inside.
I'm trying to think. I might be able to get us a little bit of shadow from the sun here. That might give us a little bit of what we're trying to see. That's the spot. Oh, it's hard because the spotlight's going bang over it, isn't it?
Yeah, should we disable it?
No.
Put it in ground. Yeah, there's some haziness going on, but...
I've changed my move speed now, so stop going through the wall. Let's go back to our directional light then. Yeah, so that controls it. It definitely does, but it adds again to the haziness. I think it feels like everything changes the haziness.
And we had the intensity of the light as 3 before.
Ooh,
that's the way.
There we go. We've unlocked the true potential. Now we can do horror games, Brain.
Yeah, now look at the sun. If you can.
It's not too bad. But everything is like bloomy. But that looks amazing. That's kind of what... Okay.
One thing, can we go to exponential height fog now that we get that?
Yes. First off as well, and Steffa, hello. I hope you're having a good day. And Levy Lou, it has been a long time. How are you? I still remember the time you named my planet in No Man's Sky when I'd been RPing all my planets. And then it was like Levy Super Fun Land. You didn't call it something like that. But yeah, I am wearing goggles. Don't you worry, Elisha Griffin. I know you're concerned about me and Brainoid's beautiful eyes. They'll be fine. Okay, sorry, Brain. Would you repeat? You want to look at the...
Exponential fog.
Yeah, let's have a look.
And so in the bloom... now maybe we can try the occlusion thing.
Hang on, wasn't it? It wasn't in here, was it?
Yeah, it wasn't here. Sorry. Actually,
but we can still. Yeah. We might be able to see some more effect of this fog stuff here.
So the scattering distribution in volumetric fog here.
Yeah, you can see the effect of this fog.
Yeah, of
on
course,
the light and stuff there as well.
Density.
Okay. Is there any of these you want me to play with before I go to the light?
The volumetric fog one. Scroll down. So
This
scattering
stuff.
distribution. Yeah, extinction scale and scattering distribution.
Okay. Yeah, let me play with those now.
Yeah, same thing with the density, I guess.
Yeah. So, but by default, what is it? 1. Okay, so you get a little bit by default, but you won't really get those rays until you. Let's try it on 1 and let's move around a little more. Yeah, you still do see it, don't you? It's just
Yeah. Actually, it does look more natural.
What are you on about? What are you on about? Don't you think that is more natural?
And the scattering distribution, the second slider,
Yeah.
actually the first
Let's
slider.
bring this down a little bit then. Let's put that as 4. This one here. Ooh, yeah, that has a huge influence on it as well. So this is where the light should cut. This is what we were looking at earlier. So 0.9 means the light bounces in the direction of the sun, whereas 0 means it scatters evenly, is what the tooltip said. So that means it's quite even. All of this looks the same sort of brightness, and then I guess if we push it up towards that, yeah, it gets brighter the closer to the sun.
Yeah, it gets more directional.
Oh wow, look at all these mini rays. That doesn't particularly make sense, but I'll go with it. I don't know if you can see on the Discord streams quality, but there's like loads of little rays here.
Yeah, it does. And I have both your stream and Discord stream open, so.
Which is the better quality, out of interest?
Your stream, of course,
yeah.
Not the Discord one.
Okie dokie. Okay, yeah, sorry.
So we can switch to the light one, the directional light again. And keep these settings as is. I guess they look nice.
So we wanted to have a look at the
directional lights, light shaft section, and I want you to enable the occlusion one.
Ooh, okay, big difference here. Whether to occlude fog and atmosphere scattering with screen space blurred occlusion from this light.
So use the light shadows here. It's a different texture kind of thing. And also, you didn't have the light shaft bloom enabled. Wow.
Yeah, I think I must have turned it off earlier when we were trying to see what it does. This is a good angle because you can see 2 bits of light there.
Okay. Also, light shaft bloom separately.
Okay, very bright. I think it's taking the color from what I said earlier.
Actually, no. Let's increase the threshold.
This thing.
Yeah, not all colors will cause that bloom. Okay. Only the highest intensity ones.
So then you get the actual different strands of light sort of thing, is it? Let's try and play.
That's how bloom works. So I guess the best look will be using both occlusion and bloom, but yeah, it creates a great contrast, I guess.
Yeah, if you quiz me in 5 minutes, like what does each one do, I wouldn't be able to tell you because I think I've been playing with so many dials and that.
Yeah.
Hey, Pomo. Pomo. I'm just going to go back to some default settings. Let's go back. Because I feel they're more sensible to play with. Crikey.
Yeah, so bloom looks like crap if you have the threshold on 0.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Let's go and have a look at it. Oh. Yeah, it's definitely too bright. Sorry, this is flickering as well. I'll try and get that off the screen. I know can trigger people's epilepsy and stuff, so it wasn't intentional. We are just playing with lighting in Unreal Engine at the moment. We're wrapping up stream in 10 minutes anyway. But yeah, it's been good. It took a while. Well, we've been trying to work out about volumetric fog and how to get the light shafts. And I think, Brain, if there's some things you want me to try and play around with, I would recommend you you tell me and I'll sort it out in the next 5 minutes. But then in the last 5 minutes, I will try and just write up what I've learned from this, just so you're aware of how I plan to spend the last 10 minutes.
I think I get it.
Okay, maybe you can help me do that summary then. That would be good. Yeah. Levy Lou, thank you very much for the 65 bits. I appreciate it. I must leave you. I have evening plans, I'm afraid. But yeah, do feel free to tune in every Sunday. We do a learning stream, and then I'm doing half-hour at least stream a day at the moment. We're doing some form of dev. If you're interested, I, along with Spacey and Brainoid, made a wonderful game called The Curse of Kattenberg for Ludum Dare. That is one of the focuses of my daily dev streams at the moment, along with AHA stuff.
Let's go check the other environment.
Oh, back this one.
You created that for a reason.
Oh, yes. So we can...
There you go.
Look how glorious it is. Elephant!
Enable the light shaft occlusion, please. Okay, good. Yeah, perfect. And so
I'm trying to work out what the light shaft occlusion...
We didn't play with the mask darkness of it, or the depth range, the occlusions.
I didn't play with the what? Sorry, say that again, dude.
Click that again, and yeah, check the options down. Occlusion mask darkness and occlusion depth range.
Okay. So first off, let's try and describe what's happening when I took it on. It makes it more subtle. It seems to filter out which things create the light coming through like that. Is that fair?
Yeah, so let's think about what occlusion means. I mean, in ambient occlusion, you get shadows around your edges. I mean, edges that
like the corners
collide with each other.
Yes. Yeah.
Clip with each other.
Right.
So yeah, maybe I feel like you're adding more light around your edges. So but also removing some other stuff.
Yeah, it seems to be doing it. It tidies it up. It feels to me. It seems to like respect the edges a bit more. Panther Dev, thanks for the follow. Okay, let's have a look at the mask darkness. Okay, that kind of takes it back to where it was. What's it like? If I untick that, yeah, you don't notice the difference. So occlusion mask. Maybe that's exactly what it does, though, right? Yes. Having it on is the same as having it off. Okay, so the lower looks better for me here. I'm just going to keep it at like 0.1. And then depth range. Okay, on 0 it looks like crap, and then I can't see any difference in any of the 500,000 values it allows me to choose. Okay.
I guess maybe that makes sense if you boost the bloom or something. Never mind.
It says everything closer to the camera than this distance will occlude light shafts.
Okay.
I guess because all of this is that close. Does that mean if I'm further away, we play with this? Are we going to get? There's a tiny bit of gradients there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that will make sense in a real map, I guess, more than
graduality. Okay, cool.
The
elephant holding the sun angle.
Get it perfect. Get it a little lower.
Okay. This is your Twitter screenshot, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to work out which looks better. All right, that'll do for now, roughly. But okay. What else are we happy with the other settings? In terms of, did you want me to play around with any of the others?
No, and we're out of time, so you're gonna.
I've got to write some notes for a few minutes. Yeah. Let's just put that on 1 for now. Okay, how about we have a bit of a chat about what we've been playing with to work out exactly why things are going as they are. I might also try and check the... Oh no, the bloom tint is not what I wanted it would appear. Make this a little bit...
Yeah.
Around there looks nice, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Pink sun. And then I don't know if we need that wall for now. See more of the beautiful elephant. Yeah, we can just... I can just strafe like this and make a little GIF. Okay, so let's try and talk about what we've got from this then. Or from the volumetric side of things. So the stuff from before, I don't need to go over again. So we started looking at a few things today. Exponential height fog. So I've said the general, I should write generally what this does. So this adds, how is this different to, what's the other fog option we have in here again? We have atmospheric fog, which is the one that's more like the horizon and stuff, right? So exponential fog is a way of having like in-level fog. Is that what we'd say?
Yes.
Okay, good. We went through some of the settings. So we have the density, we have the fallout, we have some opacity, the start distance. But then importantly, we have volumetric fog. So when we tick that box, that ticking this box takes into account objects, making it such that the fog will not appear underneath objects and trees and things like that. So if I was to turn off that exponential height fog, and we go to the volumetric fog tick box, yeah, we lose pretty much all of that good stuff. We can still have fog, but it doesn't take into account, like, it doesn't, it's like collision almost with it, it feels, or casting of some form. Atmospheric fog is largely depreciated now. You should be using sky atmosphere. Yeah, I think we did we try a sky atmosphere? Did we try that last week? Hang on.
No, we didn't actually.
Okay. Okay. I will make a note of that. Thank you, Panther Dev. So let me just do a to-do. Let's try out sky atmosphere. Because atmospheric fog may now be mostly depreciated. Deprecated, as some people say.
Yes.
It's way better. Oh, awesome. Well, we'll have a play with that next week. Thank you very much for that heads up. That's great to hear. Okay. So with the volumetric fog, then ticking that, would you agree that's how it works, Brain? It
Yes.
kind of allows it, takes into account for like collision. So it does like almost like a trace from the light source to where it needs to show light, and it'll allow it to take into account physical objects. Okay, good. Okay, moving on from that then. Folks around compliment shelter. Oh, this must have been from last week. I wrote that in. That's fine. We've kind of summarized it here now anyway. So, okay. After that, then we played with like to get light shafts and stuff, right? So, what would you say were the main things that we played around with here then? Because you were saying you feel like you know how it works. I guess, was it I'm trying to remember which settings had the biggest impact. Oh, it's probably on the light itself.
Now light shafts are in the directional light.
Yeah. So and on the point light we had it as well, right?
Yeah. So for the point light or the spotlight, it worked automatically, but we bumped the volumetric scattering up.
Okay.
And that way, the effect got clearer.
Increase the volumetric scattering. Yeah. Okay, I've got that written down there as well. We need to be using the exponential height fog. I said that as well. Light shaft bloom, but there's also light shaft. What's the other one? Can you say that again? Sorry, I cut out.
Occlusion.
Occlusion. Yeah. less impactful. So we also had to increase for directional light. We needed a decent amount of lux to see the effect as well. Okay, cool. It is literally 7 on the dot, and I don't want to be late. So I will try and I'll capture this after stream. We will go and say hi to someone else. Thank you for being here, everyone. Thank you, Brainode, as well, for giving me more of your time and learning about this stuff with me. It's always easier.
Bye-bye.
Multiple people. Thank you very much, dude. You have a wonderful night.